Hey, Women Talk Construction listeners. I am so glad you're here. If this is the first time you're here, please visit our website at womentalkconstruction.com. I'm here with Angela Gardner, my co-host, and today we're going to talk about how sponsors elevate our mission. We want to highlight all the sponsors that have helped us get to where we're at today. We are not where we want to be. We would love to be able to pay our editor every week. And $250 a week would be, that's actually what we've been quoted by several other folks who are editing audio. So if you
He does
so
a lot more
choose,
than just that.
he does website designs, forum building, you name it. Like he's,
Graphics.
yes. So if you so choose and you feel led, please consider being a partner sponsor for us and help our audio engineer get paid so that we can keep doing what we're doing. And one of the things we're getting ready to do is pretty exciting. We're going to IBS. We are actually going to interview PWB, Professional Women in Building, at the NAHB. We'll be interviewing women in the group, just talking about how important it is for them to have their Women Business Enterprise certification. So pretty excited about that since I work for 84 Lumber. We are actually on a podcast, but just so you know, because you're listening, but it's also on YouTube. It will be this podcast will be on YouTube. We have Christmas trees behind me. Unfortunately, Angela's green screen wasn't working today, but
Yeah.
we are in a festive mood and we want to say Merry Christmas.
Yes.
This might go out after Christmas, but we still want you to know that we are in a festive
Happy New
mood.
Year.
And Happy New Year. So, a couple of things we want to talk about today is about the sponsors and how they elevate our mission. We're going to highlight all those people that are really, not all of them. We can't talk about, there's so many, we can't
Oh,
talk
there's
about them
so
all.
yeah.
But we're going to highlight the ones that have really made an impact for us since we started this. And I just wanted to mention a couple of things. Being a sponsor on our podcast, um, it's really unique, right? We're
Yeah.
going to take the audience behind the scenes and we're going to say, how the process works. You allow us to give you an ad on our podcast. In exchange, we determine what that monetary gift would be, and we love you for it, by the way. We have so many success stories from a couple of folks that have gained business from having an ad on our podcast. Really excited about that. They're excited. They're repeat customers. So that's cool. And they're really making a big impact. We're going to name all of them later. We love, love, love to talk about our sponsors, not only on an ad, but we do like what we're doing right now. We want to talk about you and what you're doing to help keep this mission going. Angela and I have been doing this. We have a full-time job.
Yep.
Sometimes it's a lot. It's a lot of hours. It's a lot of work. But you know what? The passion and the inspiration keeps us going, as well as your comments. Anytime you can comment and tell us what we're doing for you and if we've made a difference in your life, please, please do that.
Yeah, those testimonials really make an impact.
They
I know
make
that
a huge impact. We can be in
yeah.
the worst mood and she'll send me one or I'll send her one and we'll be like, ah,
I know.
it's exactly how it works. So we
We
just keep
appreciate it.
rolling. We keep rolling. The future of sponsorship, we're gonna be taking it on the road. So our plans are to be interviewing some women and men at a job site and just see what they're doing. So children, students, women in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, they can see, oh, I can do that, right?
Yep.
We
Right.
want everybody to feel like they can do anything they want to. It won't just
Exactly.
be construction jobs.
No.
We're gonna pick some industrial jobs, some manufacturing jobs. You're gonna see jobs performed by women who are rock stars, and hopefully the whole United States is gonna see, wow, they're good at that, right? And that is where we wanna be. We're hoping to be in 10 places, off-site and doing a podcast next year, and we are actually waiting on a sponsorship opportunity that we hope is gonna come through. It's made it through a few levels of leadership. So, we won't be able to do that kind of thing without a partner sponsor. So we
Yeah.
have asked one of our favorite sponsors, and if we get it, we're going to announce a big announcement. But also just want to tell you that the just the topics we're going to talk about today are really how you give back, right? It's not always about money. We have
No.
so many people in our corner. Jesse Hernandez, we're going to name a ton of them, but I'm going to let Angela take it from here and talk a little bit more about, why it's so important to elevate our mission, especially when the workforce shortage is so in such dire need right now.
Yeah, exactly. The way that I mean, the way that you can support anyone really is just liking their post or engaging with them, or
Yeah.
even just sending them a message telling them how you've impacted their life, or even just, a lot of sometimes our peers will ask us to subscribe on their YouTube channel. I mean, that goes far because, you and I are trying to build up our YouTube channel too,
Yes.
right? Because videos are where it's at.
It is.
And then of course, liking on whatever channel you listen to us, whether it be, I don't know, what are all the channels like the
Oh my
Apple
gosh.
or
Yes, Apple,
we're on
Spotify.
all of
Oh,
them.
by the way, we have 5 5-star reviews on our Apple Podcasts.
Really?
We have never
Yay!
asked anybody to review. Perfect time for us to ask all of you who are
Yes.
listening to our podcast. Please go to your favorite station and just give us a like, give us
Yeah.
a shout out. Rate us, tell us how we're doing. We can't make it better or do
Yes.
something different if we don't hear from you. So we want to hear from you, and please give us a 5-star review if you love what we're doing. We would really appreciate it anywhere where you're listening to podcasts. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
There was
And
an
you
ad.
that was
That
well,
was my ad for the day.
this might be a good time too to repeat this, is that we are trying to make our podcast G-rated so
Right.
that the schools can have them and have kids listen to these because they are impactful. They do not only share about the skilled trades, but they share about being an entrepreneur. They share about
Mhm.
being in that boardroom. They share about things that I think young kids and especially young females need to hear because there are so many times when Christy, you and me have sat in boardrooms, companies, whatnot, and we've been the only gender there. And
For
um,
years.
yeah. So now that's changing, but we've
It
still
is.
got some ways to go. So, but I just wanted to mention that too about the schools and the reason why our podcasts are so clean.
Yes.
um, yeah. And so those are just a few of the ways. I don't know. I think I mentioned most of the ways that people can support us pretty much. And then of course monetarily or even just if you work for a larger company and you know that they need to put their funds somewhere or look at a place, um, definitely, share about Women Talk Construction.
Please. We
Y
appreciate
I
you.
know. Do you wanna get into starting to talk about our list? Because it's pretty long.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
we wanna shout out to all the people who've really made a difference for us,
yeah,
since we started, and, do you want me to start?
sure. Do you wanna start with the subscriptions that we've
Yeah,
okay.
so if you are giving us a monthly subscription, we really appreciate it.
We
You can
love
find us
you.
on Buzzsprout, and we love you. That money less than a cup of coffee has made a huge difference in us being able to
We
consider
could
some
do
other
this.
things.
We're
Yes,
using
we
StreamYard
have
now
StreamYard,
because of
right?
y'all.
Yes,
The people that have
absolutely.
subscribed, we were able to get StreamYard right now.
Yes, and use it in a way
Yay.
that's really gonna uplift our mission and our people. Yes, perfect, Angela. I love it. So, I'll mention a few.
Okay.
Love Monica Wheaton from ECI. She's definitely a great supporter. If you need ECI solutions for residential home construction, please reach out to her at ecisolutions.com. Wheaton at ecisolutions.com. She is a monthly contributor. So important, that little bit of less than a cup of coffee where it goes for us. Libby Mindriata, executive VP and director of the MBE division for her company, Frisco Woodline. She's actually sponsoring us for every month, and we really appreciate her. But
Mhm.
both Monica and Libby do a whole lot more than
Oh,
contribute
yeah.
to us monthly. They do a lot for us, and just get on a live and try to pour into the women that are in the field. We really have a heart for helping those women in the field feel like they're not alone. So I'll let you take it from here.
And ECI just had us do, like, that
The blog.
blog,
That
so
was cool.
even that's a way that we can help is just to be asked to contribute to an article or something. Um, yeah, and so I'll mention a couple. So we have,
Okay.
um, Jesse Hernandez, which we have to mention Jesse
Yes.
because I think he was pretty much actually, was he the first one we were on his podcast, The Crossover?
Yeah.
Or actually on a podcast?
Yes. Um,
I probably look like deer in headlights, and I think I remember saying that in
I
the
can't remember how we did
but,
that, but yeah,
you know,
he's
just
cool.
he is super cool, and if you do not know him, which I pretty much think everybody knows him.
I think I can do a Jesse. Hold on a second.
Okay, do it.
Peace out. Maybe not. That was
I
terrible,
don't kn
actually. Forget
no,
it.
no,
He
it
does
wasn't.
peace, peace.
Well,
That might be a little closer.
I don't know, but I always have to look at all of his comments on
Mhm.
social because they are entertaining.
And all of his reels too are so awesome. On Monday, he does a reel every Monday. So you guys have to
Oh, yeah.
tune into what is that? No, learning and missteps.
Yes,
Learning
I
and
love
missteps.
that, and if you haven't checked that podcast out, he has 2 of them. That one, which is super cool, and then he has the one
No
with
BS with
Jen,
Jen and
which
Jess.
they do like a live kind of a live, right, on Saturday morning,
Uh-huh. It is live,
and
I believe.
I love, love, love that, and I haven't been able to really be on it as much, but they just talk about, like,
Real things.
oh, yes, and they I don't know, it's the atmosphere, it's the people that are there, they all care
Mhm.
a bit about each other, and we're all heading towards the same goal, which is care about your people, you
Mhm.
know, but I on his LinkedIn, I have to read this, he calls himself Construction Mind Shifter, which I definitely think that's
For sure.
building a community of intentional leaders, and consultant, podcast host, author, speaker, aspiring media mogul. So, and that's Jesse.
He's
So,
definitely a media mogul.
yeah. I guess I'll go on ahead and do one more, and I will pick Alex Horton. And Alex is a recent entrepreneur.
Woohoo!
I know, fun. He's just diving into that roller coaster journey, right? Of the
Yes.
entrepreneurship. But, he is an excellent construction podcast builder. Like, if you need an internal podcast for your company or if you're doing one externally like we are, you definitely need to reach out to him or at least
Mhm.
seek advice. He he's been doing this for years. He understands it. He helped build Aaron Witt's platform, Build Wit, that
Mhm.
podcast. And I'm sure everybody on here knows that about that one. So Alex is the genius behind that too with Aaron. So he is awesome and he is a new entrepreneur and he's supporting us, Christy. I mean, how like
Yes.
and he's giving us, he's a subscriber, a monthly subscriber, but he also will talk to us and guide us through. He's helping
Mhm.
us to
He's helped us a
answer
lot.
any questions, yeah, that we might have. But so those were a couple. Do you want to
Yeah.
mention
Yeah, I'll
some
take
more?
over from here for a
Okay.
couple. David Cordell, big shout out,
Mhm.
salesman, Greenville, South Carolina for 84 Lumber Company.
He's
Love that
wonderful.
man. He and his family are supporting us every month, and we appreciate it. He
Mhm.
is one of our lead salesmen. He's been in that store for 33 years. He is definitely a fixture, and he is an account manager. So he does a great job with Track Home Building sales, and he's just a great human on top of that.
Mhm.
Got 2 kids that are gone now. I think one's just entered college, so they're have an empty nest. But David, if you're listening, we really appreciate you. Kristen Meyer with she's the CEO of Southern Crafted Shutters. She's a manufacturing facility right here in Greenville County, and they're building Bahama shutters. Amazing. Her husband is an engineer. They have gone to extremes to build these shutters that you put on your home that are
They're
impact,
beautiful.
and they're beautiful, and they're
I
impact
mean,
resistant as well. So
yes.
if you need shutters, please, please, please reach out to Kristen Meyer at
And they can
Southern Crafted
design
Shutters.
whatever.
Her
They
Instagram page is amazing. If
like,
you just are thinking about shutters, go look at
it's
the Instagram
incredible
page.
what they
Yeah.
can do.
They're so
Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah, it's
yeah.
pretty. Yeah, it makes your home literally switch from being an average home to what it looks
Mhm.
like an elite home by changing to those shutters that they manufacture. Really proud of her. Woman-owned business,
Yeah.
small business, and they've really come a long way in a few years. And now she gives back to the community with Women Confidence Builders, and I think she's part of several other organizations where she's really making a difference. So appreciate you, Kristen, for your monthly subscription to helping us move the needle. The other one I wanted to mention, which was on our podcast, Charisse wasn't on our podcast, but her boss from Superior Construction
Mhm.
was. They are a monthly subscriber. So
Scott.
we
Yeah.
appreciate that, out of Jacksonville, Florida. And she's the corporate claims manager, and she decided that she wanted to give a little bit to us, and we really appreciate you, Charisse. I think that's it for our subscribers. We'll move on to some other folks that have made a big impact for us. Obviously, 84 Lumber Company. Appreciate just the support they've given us, and the just
Yeah.
being on our side, backed us up from the very beginning. They thought what we were doing made an impact on the community and on women, and they just stood behind me, and they allow me to do this. What we thought was crazy thing at first turned into something that's been beautiful for not only us to grow, but for also other women to feel like they're not alone.
Mhm.
I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, well, I'd be remiss to mention Hill Electric because, both of our companies, we work and we do this in our spare time, and they're so understanding, and they realize the gain that's gonna come from it,
Mhm.
not directly maybe, but for sure to our industry because we're attracting and retaining, hopefully,
Mhm.
more, well, just everyone. It could be even guys that we're doing this with because hopefully we're making an impact and helping everyone understand how we should all work better together, right? And how to do that.
Mhm.
And
Right.
so I'm very appreciative of Hill Electric and how they've supported me through this journey. So,
Mhm.
and even letting me go to the IBS show when that really has nothing to do with Hill Electric because they're an industrial electrical company working in manufacturing facilities. So,
Yes.
um, but hopefully maybe I'll meet some electrical
You will. I'm
suppliers
sure
out
there's
there.
no doubt you will.
And then of course another one I'd like to mention that I'm sure Christy, you love them too is Till
Mhm.
House
Yeah.
Strategies. They
Great job.
yeah, they
Great
are
work.
yes, they're actually Hill Electric's marketing agency that it's not me doing everything behind the scenes. Everyone, I just provide the material and, guide directions, but it's Till House. It's, the YoPro No. It's my,
Mhm.
website person and my photographer, but Till House Strategies is a female-owned marketing company,
Mhm.
and they are amazing. The way in which they partner with you and what they do, and actually, they're so good at what they do within the construction sector that now they actually had to rebrand themselves because they're more geared towards our industries because of how they approach the brands.
Nice.
And, but when they did do a couple of ads for us, and
Thank you,
actually
Jailhouse.
yes, and they're the ones that introduced me to Tanya Hicks, and they did her ad, but they've also reaped some of the benefits of them and had people call them up to wanna investigate using them as a marketing agency for them. So, and they are growing. And so I would encourage anyone to look at Till House if you need a marketing team on your side. I'll let you go for a couple more.
Okay. All right. So Groundbreak Carolinas, they reached out to
Yes.
us really early on, and Angela and I met with Brian Gallagher and Dan, what's Polstra? Yeah. I
Yeah.
probably just butchered
And
that name.
Joan.
And Joan, love Joan. She's
Yes.
actually their editor. And Groundbreak Carolinas has had our
Huge
podcast
supporter.
on their subscription. They are a publisher and they've had our podcast on there from literally day one from us starting. They thought what we
Mhm.
were doing was really important. And we really appreciate the fact that they did think our mission was important and they want to show us off to the world. So we're excited about Groundbreak Carolinas. Build Exact is another one. They were actually our first sponsor
Yeah.
ever. And we really appreciate Build Exact and Jennifer Castenson.
Mhm.
They have software for residential contracting. So if you're a residential builder, you definitely want to look into Build Exact to be able to pull all of your information together in one place
And
and
they're all over the
communicate.
world, right?
Yes. Yes, and you can communicate with your customers through that software as well.
Mhm.
So it is a cool platform. Please go check them out. Um, ABC Carolinas, I've been on the board, but they've been a huge supporter. Every time we have an event, they talk
Yeah.
about Women Talk Construction and really appreciate that. And I'm gonna let you take it from here.
Well, and what I meant, the ABC Carolinas, they're the ones who introduced us to Hoopah, the Dirt Talk,
Yes. Yes.
and that was, like, a really, like, woohoo podcast we got to be on.
Well, we fell in love with a podcast studio, what we wouldn't
Oh
do
my
for a
goodness.
podcast studio right now.
It's a
Like,
good
just in
thing
case
Michael didn't see it.
anybody smart out there that has funds and wants to build us a podcast studio, we would definitely entertain that conversation.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they have it going really great.
They
The
do.
Dirt
Oh, that
Talk
studio.
podcast.
Yes.
So we
Yeah.
highly recommend checking out the Dirt Talk podcast, and that's by Hoopah, and they're out of Charlotte. So,
Mhm.
but just by us being on that show, I think elevated us even more, and
Yeah.
we're so appreciative of that. So,
I'm still in love with their building, I'm just saying, and their podcast studio. I was just, like, in awe.
yeah, yeah, it's spectacular, huh?
Mhm.
Um, I think that's everyone really.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah. So that oh, well, you were gonna mention Deborah. I think I'll let you.
Okay, you'll let me talk about her because I
Yes,
love this
'cause,
woman so much.
she can be
She's
our
the
wrap up.
founder and CEO of Deborah Badley Construction and Management Services, and, we'll keep this quick because it sounds like the dogs are coming home. It's late in the evening when we're recording this, or the husband's coming home and the dogs are barking, one or the other. Dog's coming home or the husband, I'm not sure. Anyway, Deborah is amazing, and like I said, I said on an earlier podcast, she's just an epitome of what I wanna be. Like, I really wanna she's a role model for me. Picks up her phone every time a female calls and asks her for help. Love that in a position that she's in and as busy as
Mhm,
she is, for her to take that time to constantly breathe life into other women so that they can, enjoy their career, I think is a
mhm,
huge accomplishment, and thank you, Deb. She gave us the largest sponsorship that we've had to date, and, we can't thank her enough, and, didn't even give us information to put an ad on, so we're gonna talk about her a lot because we appreciate her. We needed it at the time
yeah,
that she sent it. It was like great timing, and we were able to get some bills paid and support our audio engineer. So we appreciate you, Deb. If you're listening, if you're not listening, I'm sure somebody that's listening that knows you and is going to tell you about it. But thank you so much for all of you for doing what you do for us. And we just want to make this podcast about just you and how you're elevating this mission. And
yes, you are.
obviously, Angela and I led it, but without you, we couldn't
Mhm.
do it. So thank you very much. And not sure when this one's going to publish, but Merry Christmas if it's before Christmas. If it's after Christmas, Happy New Year. So happy holidays. And thank you for listening to our podcast. And we will see you soon.